What up guys, it's LJ again. So I was supposed to record this video earlier when I recorded my last video, but some things came up and I wasn't able to record this until now, but I'm able to record it now. So before I mentioned that I had a topic in mind that I wanted to talk about in this video, and I still have that in mind, and what it was is I was watching this TED discussion. If you know what those are, they're people who tell like their bullying stories, depression stories, anything like that. As far as I know, I haven't seen many of them, but from the ones that I have seen, I think it's mostly just about bullying, depression, just any kind of like bad life-changing things that it could happen to you. But anyway, so I was watching this guy. His name's Kevin Brill. Apparently he's a comedian. I haven't seen any of his comedy acts or anything, but apparently he's depressed. Like, this is his story, is he's depressed, and he talks about his journey through his depression that he's gone through, and it's really inspiring. But he said one thing that I really just, it made me think. And he said, I don't know word for word because I haven't seen the video in like a couple days, but basically what he said was, everybody's so willing to talk about, broken bones, or, sprained ankles, cracked ribs, the flu, anything sickness or injury related, but the second it comes to, like, your mind, like, the second somebody mentions the word depression, everybody kind of just, like, shuts down. Like, nobody wants to talk about that. Everybody, like, it's so acceptable for us to have a broken bone and be excused from something. Like, I break my bone and I don't go to school the next day. That's fine. Everybody's like, oh, it's totally understandable. But, like, let's say I wake up and I'm really depressed, and it's almost like an inner battle between me and my demons, whether or not I get up and go to school, or I stay in bed, or I wake up and I really just want to cut or relapse or commit suicide. Like, Nobody accepts that as an excuse as to not do something. Nobody accepts that as, like, why can't we like call into work or school or whatever you're doing and be like, hey, I can't come in, I'm really depressed today and it's really hard for me to just even get out of bed or even just make this phone call to you. Like, why isn't it acceptable to do that? Because, you have a broken bone, you call in and you're like, hey, I have a broken bone. I broke my bone yesterday. I can't really come into work for a couple days. Everybody's like, oh, totally, that's fine. You could just catch up when you come back. Like, that's fine. But when it comes to depression or, like, anxiety or anger, nobody really wants to talk about that. Nobody thinks it's a problem, almost. Like, that's not something we as a society really want to address or talk about or anything. And I really, like, that confuses me, actually. Like, I've been thinking about this for a couple days, and I realized, like, it's so insanely, it's just insane, it's crazy, it's also, it's stupid. Sorry if I stutter a lot, I'm not used to talking in front of a camera, so there's that. But carrying on, why do you think nobody wants to talk about this? Like, to the 5 viewers that have viewed my last video, if you're actually watching this, why do you think nobody is willing to talk about this stuff? Why do you think nobody really wants to talk about depression? Why do you think nobody thinks of this as a valuable excuse to not do something? Because sometimes, like, I mean, I'm gonna post my story of my bullying story, depression, suicide, self-harm, all of that. I'm gonna post that later on, so you guys will know more about me. But why do you guys think that that's not true, that nobody wants to talk about that? Because sometimes, like, I wake up and I am so freaking depressed to where, because I still struggle with it. For the most part, I've gotten over it. I'm off my medication and everything for it. Yay for me. But, there's still some days where it's just like, I'm back there. And my thought is, like, I think nobody wants to talk about that is because nobody wants to believe that this is an actual problem. I mean, you see the commercials for, like, the Happy Pills and stuff, but nobody ever pays attention to those because it's commercial. But nobody ever wants to talk about depression or suicide or cutting or any other forms of self-harm that you could do, or anxiety, bullying, abuse, anything like that. Nobody wants to talk about that. And like I said, like, why do you guys think that is? Why do you think nobody wants to talk about that? Because, like I said, I think nobody wants to talk about that is because nobody wants to believe that that's actually a problem in the world. Nobody wants to believe that it's actually happening. So, why do you guys think so? You know, comment, do whatever, don't comment if you don't want to. But, hopefully, I'm looking forward to reading your comments. I don't know when I'm going to post my next video. Probably I'm going to try to do it by this Friday or Saturday, depending on how many comments I get responding to this. But, you know, also leave a comment on maybe a topic that you want me to discuss. I mean, I will try not to stutter as much in my oncoming videos, but for right now, it's a bit weird talking in front of a camera. I will work on it, though. Alright, so leave your, you know, comments, discussion, whatever, in the comments, obviously, below. I will get back to you guys later. Farewell. Have a great day.